It's a hot and sunny afternoon with a light breeze coming off the Thames in Rotherhithe, and I'm about to make my first visit to the Thames foreshore. I'm trying out mudlarking, a centuries-old London hobby in which people visit the riverbanks at low tide, digging through the sand and silt to uncover hidden treasures in the debris. I can't wait to get started, so I met mudlark Perth Sethapanichsakul to get some advice.
First step is to make sure you know the tide times.
Got it. Low tide in London today is at 3 p.m.
Then you glove up. As nice as it is to be on the Thames, it's probably better to wear gloves when you're picking a lot of this stuff up.
Okay, gloving up.
And then start doing it. You kind of scan the ground in front of you and just start walking.
I won't have much luck on my own, though. I'll need a guide and a permit.
Are you Tom? Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Georgia.
This is Londoner Tom Chivers, an experienced mudlark.
The first thing you do is you cast your eye left and right, up and down, and you see what's changed. You see areas that have maybe emerged, bits of eroding mud, also just the weird objects that are here.
You get down there and you're finding bits of tiles, bit of glass, bit of ceramic, so many like pipe stems, animal bones, all sorts of stuff.
So what I would do with a patch like this, first of all...
As soon as I'm down on the foreshore, I understand what Perth means. In just a couple minutes, we find little white ceramic scraps, polished marbles of coal, and dozens of shiny copper nail heads.
If you look at 1,000 nail heads, you will find one hammered coin. But there's loads of archaeology here that's embedded in the mud, and because the river is eroding quite quickly at the moment, that stuff is coming up and then it's floating away, so you see it loose on the foreshore here.
We haven't found any hammered coins yet today, but there are plenty on display at the London Museum Docklands in their new mudlarking exhibit. I'm meeting with curator Kate Sumnall in the exhibit space, where they have recreated a large portion of foreshore littered with objects, alongside a displayed collection of Thames treasures.
The Thames is typical in that obviously it's waterlogged and the mud is anaerobic, so it blocks out the oxygen, which means that we get excellent survival of things that just don't survive on other sites that are dry. But you can't mudlark in all rivers, so you need the combination of a river that's tidal but also a foreshore that's stable enough to be walked on.
The river historically has been a river of deposition, so when you look at the Thames and you go, oh, it looks really brown, what that is all the silt that's being held in suspension in the water. And so traditionally it's deposited this and created, the geology that you see. But in recent years, maybe the last, 20 years, it's hard to say, it's been kind of switching to a more erosive regime. So what we're seeing is the foreshore level actually dropping.
As Tom explains how the daily rise and fall of the tide erodes the foreshore, I begin to wonder about the history and secrets it has unearthed with each cycle. Does the river shape the people of London as well as the landscape?
Oh, I love the river. I feel such a strong connection to it. I mean, it's just iconic, isn't it, the Thames? But I think it also fades into the backdrop for many people's really busy lives. It's something that we just have to cross over, but also it's a way of how people identify themselves. I live south of the river, I live north of the river, and that division.
A lot of this mudlarking is, it's not just finding stuff, it's just spending time down here exploring. It's really thrilling.
It sounds like this practice of mudlarking is helping you connect to new and different parts of the city. Do you think it's changing your relationship to the city?
I think what it has changed, more than my sense of London's history, is it's changed my sense of things. I love touching these things down here and interrogate them with all of my senses. So in a way it's kind of restored my faith in stuff.
It's clear that mudlarking is both a historic and modern practice, but it has only come about thanks to an equally enduring bad habit: littering. Do you find often modern objects?
Yeah, absolutely. Water bottles are a very common sight. You will often find modern beer bottles. You can tell because the paper label is still on them.
But some modern objects will have greater archaeological value than others.
What's particularly interesting about vapes is that vapes have only been around, for 10 years or so, and they've just been banned in this country. So we're going to see a massive reduction, I suspect, of the number of vapes finding their way into the river. So therefore vapes are going to become an archaeological horizon marker. We'll be able to tell the date of a stratified deposit according to the kind of vape that we find in it.
I can't help but think, as I walk with Tom amongst ancient objects and yesterday's rubbish, that today's Londoners are partaking in a time-honored tradition of leaving our mark on the land, creating the stories that future mudlarks could one day uncover.
What is important in our lives, and what does that say about our lives in this time of fast fashion and consumerism and, the importance of things? What will future mudlarks and archaeologists say about our lives, and are we okay with that?
Kate raises a good question. What are we leaving behind? On the foreshore, but also around the city itself. How do the objects, emissions, and decisions created here impact the place and the planet? And how often are these consequences hiding right under our nose?
I think there's something really profoundly important about mudlarking, and obviously I would say that because I'm a mudlark, but what we're doing is we're exploring this landscape that is almost entirely ignored and overlooked, or has been historically overlooked.
As we finish up on the foreshore, Tom and I stop intermittently to scan the ground for treasures, and I find I've already become more observant than before. I can see why this practice of looking at the world closely can be so therapeutic and enriching, even when what you find isn't quite what you were looking for. Or did you find something?
No, I thought there might be a piece of lead in there.
I'm gonna now be looking every time I'm walking around. Regardless of the stuff you find, you're sure to gain an understanding of the scope of the city's history, a glimpse into its future, and a responsibility for its present moment.